Jamaica politics and cover. Pick up yourself because you don't know you will discover. Lord of mercy. Hey. Some say that them a dieted. And them a suffer to hell no rotted. Them a say that them a dieted. And them a suffer to hell no rotted.
Hello, JPU family. Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Returning subscribers, welcome back, guys. Well, it's Monday. Yes, June 23rd, 2025. First program of the week. And we've got a few things to talk about. Also, Lawrence Rowe is going to join the chat tonight because on the most hereby now, so Lawrence Rowe was awarded a whopping $1.3 million in a police abuse case 10 years ago, guys. And I have a few things to say to the judicial system in Jamaica. Okay, so yeah, we have some things to talk about. Plus, breaking news, there is also a new development, a ribbon cutting again today. And there's a lot of history here, so we'll talk about that. Rural transportation for our young people up and running. And also a few words about national security. National security is a big man's job. It's not for the weak-hearted. It's not for the lazy or the lame. We're going to talk about that just a little bit. Let me just know, guys, if you all can hear me fine in the chat, and then we'll get started. Just give me one audio check. While you guys are doing that, let me go ahead and start off by playing this here.
Another month, another ribbon cutting ceremony. As I'm uttering those words, most honorable Prime Minister, I think of this poem. The heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward throughout the night. Mr. Prime Minister, we have been putting in the work, and now we are reaping the rewards. Sure that this campus was developed to optimize our greenfield space and be redeveloped as a modern campus for businesses to grow.
Employing at its peak over 12,000 Jamaicans. Many families in and around the corporate area can trace their household stability and upward mobility to the opportunities made available right here. Over the years, this complex has evolved to serve as a hub for manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, and even education and healthcare. Today, it is the most diverse free zone in Jamaica and the largest commercial industrial complex on the island. We're gathered here today to officially open phase 1 of the Garmex redevelopment and expansion project. Phase 1 alone has delivered 126,000 square feet of new industrial space across 17 enterprises in multiple sectors. It includes newly built mini warehouses for small and micro businesses constructed at a cost of $1.1 billion. And while that figure sounds large, the real achievement is that this was fully funded from the resources of the FCJ. There was no borrowing to do this.
Yes, guys, welcome back. So, how many of you have any history, or your family members have any history with Garmex? When I lived in Greenwich Town with my parents and my siblings, my mom in her earlier days, she used to work down a free zone. And in fact, the women in our community, a morning time, when you see them at bus stop, I go free zone. Now them uniform. And at that time, Greenwich Town was a working class, middle class community. I'm taking calls, but not right this minute. I'll let you know once I am. Thank you. So to see the development of garments and them something there, guys, it's a really beautiful thing. And there are still many people employed there. You know, people are educated there and so on and so forth. Say you were the man saying at the beginning, another month, another ribbon cutting. So all of who are run up and down in a problem with people cutting ribbon, as some know they don't want a good for the country. Why would you complain about something like that? Makes no sense. Right? So this is the story about this ribbon cutting ceremony. I want to hear say no money was borrowed to do this. So that's wonderful. So in light of this, as the Prime Minister of the government and the government continue to work on behalf of the Jamaican people, you know, we not really follow up polls over here, but since it was in the mainstream media, I'll tell you guys about it. A poll was done by done on this commission by RGR, and the poll said that Prime Minister Andrew Holness is 7% ahead of Mark Golding. Now, if you're just joining this channel and you don't know much about what's going on, Dan Anderson is a pollster in Jamaica, and he has been working for Golding and Bunting personally. They've been commissioning polls from him a couple months of the year, tell him what they desire, and he comes up with that scientific poll, asking the relevant questions to give them what they desire. So now, according to this poll, Andrew Holness is ahead. 7%. I may ask to myself, say, I wonder if Andrew thinking about commissioning a poll. I don't know if the Prime Minister or the JLP commissioned any poll to put to the public. Maybe they've done it internally, I don't know. But to my knowledge, they have not commissioned any poll to put to the public to say we are doing good. You know? Just like how Golding has been paying Dan Anderson for these polls to tell the Jamaican people, I'm doing better or Andrew is doing horrible. We don't do that. We've never done that. That's ridiculous. You know? Anyway, that is the lead story this morning, Monday. Is that the Prime Minister is 7% ahead. We haven't heard anything from the opposition about that. What we've heard from the opposition is about these people who left the PNP. Yeah, man. If you haven't watched this upload that was done this morning, you might want to watch it. Mark Golding had a few words for the comrades, them who left. And the Jamaica Labour Party mentioned JPU yesterday on the political platform. Senator Morgan, big up yourself. And yes, in light of that, we're going to pat ourselves on the back over here, because they are doing some good work in informing people, fighting against disinformation, And for one reason and one reason only. Because we see people tainting our country and the image of our country, behaving like a group of fifth columnists, working against their own country and their own government for no reason, just because they want to give that man golden power. And because we grow as patriotic people, can't stand aside and watch that. Not only that, but as a women's activist, I've seen these same people. A homicide happened to a woman close to the PNP, and these people, horrible, horrible thing. Them and their operatives and their bloggers come out speaking things that are not true about this woman's murder. And when you see these things, you have to really wonder to yourself, can you really put people like this to lead a country? You know? So that is where we stand over here. So, Senator Morgan, big up yourself. And everybody who take the time to reach out to JPU or to say a kind word. This morning, one of our subscribers called from St. James. I forgot the name of our community now, down at St. James. And she said, I am 80 years old. 80 years old. And I make them put on your program on YouTube so I can hear you. And she said, I am choosing Jamaica. And I want you to mention this on your program. I am 80 years old. And I know she's probably listening right now. So big up yourself, Mama. I am 80 years old. And I support you. I support what you are doing. And I'm very glad about what you are doing. So that's wonderful. And we have a good amount of people over here who are our seniors and who have become, either them become tech savvy or them let them family members show them how to navigate the social media space so they can find our channel and listen and see our content. So that's wonderful. And we are educating the voters of Jamaica. We are helping to educate the voters of Jamaica, not to tell them what to do, but to lay out the facts and they will make their own decision. So that is the story. Very proud of that. And big up our seniors and our elders who are over here tuning into our channel. So I want to big up the government and the transport minister and the wonderful job they're doing with transportation for the country's youths. I feel good to see this. My daughter rides the school bus just like this. She rides the school bus. She won't carry her now. She has drive on her permit. But I don't think anybody should be driving before 18 years old, at the very least. Driving takes experience. But it is so good to see in Jamaica, in this modern era, in this 21st century, we have buses, school buses, coming into the country, safe drivers to carry our young people to and from school. I have never felt comfortable seeing young people and students riding the same buses with adults and all kind of people. You don't know what people are doing sometimes. So this is good. This to me says safety, and I am very happy to see it. Guys, the phone line is not open yet. Soon as it is, I will announce it. The people them who are call right now. I want to play something for you guys on the topic of national security. I'm going to play something for you guys. The police commissioner from Bermuda made a very compelling speech at the JCF's Expo, and I want you guys to hear it. Have a listen.
To the political leaders here tonight, you're backing a winning horse. Now don't ease up on the feed. You've invested in excellence. Keep investing. The JCF needs your financial support, and just as important, they need your very public backing. When our leaders back the police, the public back the police, and the cycle of community confidence repeats itself. Their success, sir, is your success. It makes people safe, increases investment in the region. Your backing enables transformation. To the police officers here, JCF has marked its course. Now continue to walk it. Be proud of what you have achieved. Be proud of your plans.
Isn't that wonderful? Jamaica not to say a word. Look at that. And there is Peter Bunting in the audience at the front. If you watch this, guys, and saw the body language of Peter Bunting, you would have been disgusted to see that every single person in the audience, of every background, various profession, people visiting from other countries, JLP, PNP, NOP, everybody in the audience applauded the JCF and the work they're doing and the display that they put on of transformation. And when you look at Bunting in the crowd, he wouldn't applaud, he wouldn't smile. He gave no indication that he was happy about what was happening. I mean, it was clear you didn't need a translator or glasses for Sisse. The man vex. When vex for? True crime a go down. Through the JCF transform, that him vex for. That's why I say national security is not for a boy, it's a man's job. A real man. And the real man in this case is Dr. Chang. And I want the government of Jamaica at some point in time to make sure that they give Dr. Chang his award for what he has done, the work he's doing. That would be nice. I don't think we should have to tell you guys that, but I have to say it anyway. So we're happy to see it. Very happy. So Bunting, what do you have to say about national security? Because sometimes we don't know. I mean, you really don't have to say much because we see your body language. You're not happy about what going on. The people must stop you from getting a job. You want to come back as national security minister and you just not stay away. Because if the crime go down, and if the police force a transform, then it means they don't need you because you were a poor, a crying national security minister. I mean, how hard was it to even roll out a ZOSO, zones of special operation? Not even that. Then could have think about if help bring down a crime. So Bunting is probably sitting there coming to the rude awakening that Jamaicans are seeing that he has nothing to offer. Zero. Spirit of vexation. We, the patriotic people, are here for it. Guys, I want you to also know about this fundraiser that's coming up. This fundraiser is going to be held on July 19th. And it's a fundraiser for Principal Dr. Garfield James, who is the MP candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party. He's running against Ian Hales. This is important. Admission to the event is $1,000 US. It's a fundraiser. Prime Minister Andrew Holness will be there. To contact the organizers of this event, just read the flyer down there. You will see the campaign manager's name, Dr. Miles, and you can reach out by telephone or email. Now, this is one of the most important seats in Jamaica. Aside from South Manchester, where Bunting is, we do not want Bunting for the National Security Minister, because he don't have no use, and we don't trust him. This here, Ian Hales is another one when already. And let me just speak very frank here. The Jamaican people must keep Rise United movement from out of our parliament. Every single one of them must come out there. No put none in there, no keep none in there. Rise United movement led by Mark Golding. The Jamaican people them vote out nearly 17 of them already. Now put them back in there. Ian Hales is one member of the Rise United movement. Cause a whole heap of destruction. All they do is trace people and set up people. And set up people's life and people's safety. We cannot have that. So if you're not going to attend the event, you can get a ticket for somebody or you can make a donation. Let us normalize sending quality people to our parliament, upstanding people, and people who actually care about the job of representation. That is what we need to normalize and support in Jamaica. Sending quality people to our parliament. So this is a worthy cause. And I'm sure the Prime Minister at some point will, say something about this. So if you can attend if you can get a ticket for somebody or if you can donate in any way, that would be a wonderful thing. It's for a good cause. We are in the era of removing the bad apples from our parliament and putting in people who are quality people, who respect the people of Jamaica, who are honest and decent, and are there for all the right reasons. Because these guys, we cross the floor, them could have sit down there with the PNP and with Ian Hills and Dayton Campbell and aid and abet them wickedness, and them don't do it. They didn't do it. They did the right thing by moving from among them. And what's even more important is that moving from among them never lose them council seats. They win. That means that the people are with them. And from the people are with you, all you have to do now is do the work of the people. So that is important to remember. Thank you, guys. Everybody in the chat. I forgot my manners. Moderator, big up yourself. Good night. And everybody in the chat. All over here. Big up on yourself. Thank you for joining. So, I am looking forward to seeing this event right here. Let me see. Mark Golding, no people. Mr. The Jamaica Star put out something this evening in saying that Golding's response to the people who leave the PNP. I know more of the JLP for the two. You see, on the next conference, not conference, on the next any meeting we want to keep, I want to know if line up all of the people them. All of the people them will go exodus upon them. Line them up, make them walk across the JLP stage. No, say some of them who no might can't get cause on all of them join the JLP. Some of them just leave in the politics completely, like Lisa Hanna. Although we don't know if at the last minute you might see Lisa Hanna come out and boom off Andrew Fist and say, yeah, me I support where you do. We don't know because sometimes they may have something unpredictable. But if we can get 1/2 dozen comrades and make them walk across the JLP stage, me I tell you no. For sure the Jamaica people them say, them other rest of people, they don't make no sense. They make no sense whatsoever. You see, tomorrow night, tomorrow? No, not tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm gonna be doing a piece on Dr. Wickham McNeil, who is trying to get a seat in Trelawney, 5-term MP. We're going to look at the legacy of Dr. Wickham McNeil. Because a lot of these politicians, them take the country people them for idiot. And that's why them could have leave one constituency. So they want to redeem themselves. And they can't redeem themselves for the people them who vote them out, you know. They want to redeem themselves with one different set of fool. That's their mindset. So we are going to have a look at Dr. McNeil's legacy. All these decades he's been in politics. We're going to have a look at that. So stay tuned for that Wednesday night. But anyway, Golden say the party is better off without the switchers, quote switchers. Now you tell me. First of all, you're polling 30% right now. RJR poll says so. In terms of favorability, polling 30% behind the Prime Minister. You have people in the PNP, if you put them in a one poll, them poll more than you. Lisa Hanna is one such person. So with all of the arms house and wickedness you want to go along with, you buy the PNP for $10 million. And I know the comrades them not get them 10 million. And you have the nerve going to try to shade people who took themselves away from the non-progressive. The PNP want to kill and turn upside down and shake out his pockets. That's crazy. A decent somebody would have come out and said, well, you know, everybody has the freedom to choose. If a person decides to switch political allegiance, that's their choice. They're free to do that. That would be the appropriate response when asked about people who are switching from your party. That's the appropriate response. But this man has no sense of appropriateness. So here's his response. I don't know what to call this a response. I don't want to say the wrong word out here and make nobody feel uncomfortable. But this is the response. The PNP is better off without the switchers. That's the response. Not thinking that when you say these things, people are looking at you like, are you serious? People free to go wherever they want. So Venetia left. As the leader of the party, you come out and call a woman, traitor with your out other self. Publicly. Not even private, publicly. You come out and call a woman traitor with your bright self. And them something, look here, you see from the whole of shackles of a black man head, me can't, look here. Me notice that me go viral over the past couple of days. From I put up the picture and say, I am choosing Jamaica. Me say them put you up on social media or wherever, and that's fine. But let me tell you this. Me not out here in no competition with nobody. The only thing me out here about is to share accurate information to educate the people. Because I see that we have a 5th column in Jamaica. And that 5th column is tearing down our country and trying to put our country in the most negative light in the world. So I have no choice. As a patriotic person, I have no choice but to support publicly the government of the day. Not just because of fear of what will happen to my beloved country, but also the future of the country. Only think say when them people are mash up the country, only think it will take one term to fix back and so. Eh? Look how they wipe out the entrepreneurs of the country. I may have some FinSac document may I come out here with this week too, you know. May have some FinSac, what if a FinSac information? Actually, I don't have time to comb through all of it, but I'll be coming out here with if I even little bit tight. Or if I even take 1 week or 7 day, 40 day and 40 night, me and them with the FinSac documents coming up this in a few days. So that is it. They're not here for the right reason, I'm telling you. Let me see. I want you guys to listen to this real quick.
2020! To the political leaders here tonight, you're backing.
The PNP are out there trying to say it's time to change. Now, I want you to listen carefully to this, you know. They can't stand up and say they can do better. They can't do that. They can't stand up and say we have done better. They can't say that. All they are saying is, why them dead long? Give me a chance now. Not everyone thinks rationally. There are some people who think like that. It matters not how well you have performed. It matters not how competent you have been. What is the consequence for supporting the wrong political team? I want you to think on that. There are serious consequences. But there are Jamaicans who look at their politics like how they would support their football team. Your job is to reach out to those Jamaicans and point out to them the consequences. Your job is to reach out to them and show them how competence, how good government have improved the country.
That's important, you know, guys. The only thing we hear coming from these people is time come. Time come. That's it. And what does time come mean? Time come for Andrew Holness go. That's it. But that's not enough. You've got to come with more than that. And I saw it work. You cannot come and sell the people them no puss in a bag. Like what you do. Bought the $10 million in the PNP, and you take the people in party and don't give them no $10 million. All you do, you can give some couple of picnic, one look at 25,000 scholarship. Out of $10 million, you know, then can line up a couple of people and put and take them picture and give them one look at check for 25,000. $25,000 money? $25,000 money? You scam out the people them out of them party. Scam out the workers them. What a wicked act. Them a scammer. The FinSac trick with them pull on the people them. Boy, you know what's sad? Sometimes when we hear people's opinion on politics, people sometimes have a very negative perception and view of politicians. And if you're not careful, you see politics as a horrible job, a horrible field of work, a horrible set of people. And it just, if you're not mind sharp, you just whitewash the whole thing as, not a good thing and not a good place to be. When in truth and in fact, politics is a way to serve people. And we need these people in our society. We need public servants. We need all of that. But when these unscrupulous people weasel their way into our politics by tricking the most vulnerable and the duncest set of people them. And me not feel no way if you call some people dunce tonight. Because you know why? And them are people have the nerve to go in an argument with you on social media. And when them go before big international TV, big national TV, them can't even tell you why them come out come protest. They don't know what is the state entity called FID. They don't know what FID mean. They don't know what FID is there for. And this is why we have to educate the people. Because they are preying on the duncest people among us. It is the saddest thing I've seen. So, when me come out and declare, say, me I choose Jamaica because me know say them people here, we are lead the country right now. They're coming from a good place. Them have the country's interest at heart. Them now behave reckless and spend out with money and thief out with money. And squander with money and borrow and beg. We are a responsible country now. And no me say so not take my word for it. Listen to the people them at World Bank. Listen to the people them in the region where talk about, we bring down crime. Them people there, we are responsible people. I may get up tomorrow morning and the Prime Minister do something or say something I not agree with. And I will say I don't agree with it. But that not gonna make me hate him or anything like that. I will say, I don't agree with that. This is how you should do it. But the spirit of hate that is coming from these people, it is sad. We don't want it in our country. Make them care about going to England or wherever. We don't want these people. Can't manage this. So many good things are happening in the country. And the Jamaican people, them spoke in 2020. Right? People, them dash with 17 of them. They lose their seat because they not come round here to do anything that makes sense with the people. So, to put these people back in office right now. And you know what the problem? Big up yourself, Alex, and thank you for your donation over here. Thank you. You know what the problem? The PNP now come back with some new people, Are the same people them who are come from the 90s with FinSac and the wickedness them. And the same people them who mash up the opposition and take with them party and buy for 10 million. Where are you going with those people? The same people them who lose all their seat in a 20 won't not go back with them people there. Won't not come with some different set of people, man? I make the people them have a little confidence in what's going on, or maybe listen to what they're saying and say, okay, maybe we get a new somebody else. But we not come back with the same bungle. And we have to wonder to ourselves, why is it that the PNP is not recruiting new people? Just like how we see the JLP, then come and replenish them thing and them have some new people. We see them come with some young people and them something there. But them people, them come back with the same old wash up, rinse out, ink pan nail set of people them. No, man, we don't have to do better. And in addition to that, you see them come and have the sick people them a hobble across the stage, palm walk, a wheelchair, and all kind of people that carry them in. Look here, man. No bother with this. We just go on and make the country do what it's supposed to do. Make we continue with the development, the responsible governance, the good governance, the lowering of the crime rate, all of that. Leave the country alone. You're not ready. You're not done already. I would never tell you no lie. You're not done already. So we have no choice. more and more PNP crossing the floor, more and more vloggers and bloggers who used to support the PNP, them a come talk out now and them a say, "Oh, not ready for sure." So while I wait on Lawrence Rowe, guys, I saw some court documents where Lawrence Rowe was involved in a case of wrongful arrests or police abuse 10 years ago. And this is the arresting officer. He has since migrated, no longer a member of the force. His name is, oh gosh, let me see if I can remember. His name is Clayton Broomfield. And something was going on. Him say, Lawrence, something else happened, and him decide to arrest Lawrence in a way that was inappropriate. And Lawrence been fighting this case now 10 years, and he was finally awarded. This was published in the Jamaica Observer, I think the Jamaica Gleaner, sorry. So Lawrence get one piece of money. Me only start saying about 10 million. Now, this is no indictment on our current police force, because the police force that we have in Jamaica today, in my opinion, they've had different training based on what I am hearing from citizens, from Dr. Chang and others, is that the Jamaica Constabulary Force today, they are more mindful of how they're dealing with people. When see when they come out come protest against the police, a whole heap of Jamaicans go out there and run them way and tell them, say, leave the police them alone. They might do a good job. Right? In not every police force, you have a bad apple or two, but that's no indictment on the entire force. Now, when these things happen, and you put it in the hands of the courts, I say I want justice. How is it? Somebody explain to me, how is it that it takes 10 years? 10 years, you know. This is unacceptable. Missy case is going at the court probably long after Lawrence's case, and then come out, whether civil or criminal, then come out and then either get them justice or whatever result. So what is really going on? This is not acceptable. You see, the justice system in Jamaica, I'm going to just start the truth. You see, part of the reason for the crime in Jamaica, reprisals and, retaliation and all kind of something, so the justice system are part of the problem. Because when justice is delayed, people say justice denied. And when people don't have no faith in swift justice, they're just gonna take matters into their own hands. So if we are going to be dealing with the matter of crime, which we're doing very good at, then at some point in time, we have to turn our attention to the process of justice and timing of justice, because this is unacceptable. When people have to wait this long for justice, it causes them a lot of distress, emotional distress, cost them probably money where them not have to put out if the process was shorter. I don't know if we need more courthouse and more people are working at the court system. We need more lawyer, prosecutor. I don't know what. But, you know what? Maybe when Paula Llewellyn retire in a couple months, she can come over here and tell me, why is it that it takes so long to get justice in our system? This is not acceptable. This can't be right. And that's why I say I wish it was 10 million, because if you have to wait 10 years, forget local justice. No matter as well, they get $10 million, man. $1 million for each year. Come on now. Now, Lawrence, now where they look at 1.3 million. What amount of money him lose being used by the PNP to sit down there like, thinking that him going to be the candidate. I lose so much. I think Craig would say a 7.8 million him lose. And this year so not even going to help Lawrence to recuperate his loss in politics. But you know what? Sometimes money can't buy everything, because to me, this shows that Lawrence has some credibility. That's what this tells me. And when I read the judge's remark in this case, let me see if I can find it. According to 17-page written judgment that was published on the court's website, Justice Dale Staple, in the ruling on March 24th, after awarding the 1.3 million in damages for false imprisonment, assault, and malicious prosecution arising from the 2014 incident in Almontown. So they even go as far as prosecution, false imprisonment, assault, and malicious prosecution. Quote, there was no lawful basis for his arrest, detention, charge, and prosecution. I am satisfied that he was assaulted in the process of his unlawful arrest. I would remind the police, I'm reading from the Jamaica Gleaner. I hope that's a typo. I am satisfied that he was assaulted in the process, or maybe a sarcastic comment. I would remind the police that in the exercise of their power to arrest, charge, and prosecute, that they would be mindful of the correct procedure and practice required for the several offenses on the books, especially the more common ones encountered in routine beat duty, and carry out the correct processes. The judge also said there needs to be more emphasis on this during initial training and continuous training and reminders for serving members of the force. He added that by better understanding the application of the appropriate steps to take before effecting an arrest, charge, and prosecution, our hardworking members of the force can significantly reduce unnecessary confrontation with members of the public, improve relationships with them, reduce litigation, and ultimately save the taxpayers a fortune in damages and other litigation costs that have to be expended to defend these suits. So what the judge is saying, as a member of the force, to go out there and behave badly with citizens who can take you to civil court, and the taxpaying Jamaicans are going to be footing the bill. So to prevent that, carry out your job properly, try not to be confrontational, and citizens also have a responsibility to not escalate and be confrontational as well. Now, in Lawrence Rowe's case, a hard-fought case, I think Lawrence Rowe's lawyer was Mr. John Clark, yes. So, this is good. So the people in the PNP who try to bring down Lawrence's credibility. Yes, hello, good night, Lawrence. You are live.
Just give me a minute, just a second.
Okay. Yes, guys. So Lawrence Rowe joins us now, straight from out of Central Kingston. We're going to talk to Lawrence about this case a little bit. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit of politics. There's a lot going on. Yeah, man, no problem. And thank you, as usual, for taking the call and taking the time to talk with Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Guys, please to hit the like button and share the live. Give me a second, guys.
2020, people thought I was committing political suicide. They thought I couldn't defeat Peter Bunting. But the people in Manchester Central believed with me. They believed in me. And we defeated Peter Bunting by more than 1,000 votes. And we defeated Peter Bunting by more than 1,000 votes.
You back, Lawrence?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, welcome to the program, Lawrence, and congratulations on your victory in the court with this matter of police abuse. Lawrence, most people didn't know that you were going through this.
Well, it is a matter stemming from around 2014.
Mm-hmm.
There are aspects of the judgment that we are appealing, so I can only speak generally about the case. Yeah.
So you're still in the process of appealing certain aspects despite the award from the court?
Yes, there were aspects of the claim that the judge did not make an order for payment. Example, reputational damage. He believed that the case was not widely publicized, so to speak, and so much reputational damage was not caused.
Oh, really? Okay. So in other words, you want more money?
Well, it was never about the money.
Okay.
It was more about the injustice being meted out in inner city communities like my own.
Of course, yeah.
I was just coming from a meeting and heading to, my usual spot where I play domino.
Mm-hmm.
That's my second sport that I love. So it is politics, then domino, and then accounting. So, on my way to play toward the bar that I play for, Yellow Bench Pub, said to me, keyhole, me not telling him to come off of the road.
Wow.
And, I was taken aback that, he would be speaking to me in such a foul manner. Firstly, at that time I was secretary for the Citizens and Police, Action Committee. Our main objective was to bring police and citizens more together in a working relation, and I was a known person in the community, so I was rather surprised. When I look back and realized that there was nobody behind me, I asked him, if I'm me Matato, and he repeated it. And I said to him that if he's going to give me a command, it must first be lawful. And if I use indecent language to him at first, he would have to warn me. And then if I repeated it, he can lay charges on me. He felt offended by that. And, there was a large gathering out there. He raised his baton to hit me, and I told him that I'll be reporting him if he does that. Him say, he must arrest me. I said, fine, he grabbed me in the waistband and hauled me to the police station. I sat when he dragged me into the police station, there were other police officers who were exalting themselves and all sort of stuff, And I don't want to go into much of the specifics, but at one point in time, the sub officer asked me if I calm down and that I'm free to go, and I said to him, "Boy, not like that." And I asked him if I don't enjoy the presumption of innocence. And he asked me what I mean by it. I say, you come in here and you're accused. You weren't here to begin with. And then you come inside the police station and ask me if I calm down. You don't come and you don't see me being irate or anything. And then he said, "Sir, you're free to go." I said, "No." I then requested the constable's name and badge number who brought me to the police station because I told him that, I'll be reporting the matter. By the time he went for him, I was told that I'm no longer free to go and they have charges to lay on me.
Intimidation. Intimidation, innit?
Yeah, so I said, by all means, at this point, my father was there, my sister was there, they were very angry at me, and they were saying, "But you were told you're free to go, and because you love back answer, swear cause." And I was like saying to them, say, "Look here, nobody called you guys here. I can deal with this." Right? At the time, they even gave me own shorty deal, right? They asked me my through places of frequency. I said 14 North Avenue. I was the constituency secretary to run it at the time. I said 89 Wolof Road because I frequent the party's headquarters. And I said 1 Devon Road, that is the office of the Prime Minister. And you could see the shock, at these constables, and they were like, look like we missed with the wrong one, if you were getting that sort of vibe. I remember the following day after the incident, the same constable being pulled up at the bar where we play domino for, and him say, "Must come down to the station." When I went down there, he was trying to talk me out of things, and I said, "Boy, if they just obey him command, all of this wouldn't happen," and all sorts of things. I said, "No, you guys were trained to deal with civilians in a proper way. Apply the training. Don't, because we live downtown or we live in the inner city, you're going to treat us any lesser than the people in Pachour Gardens." No. And I say, once you build a cordial relationship with the people, then, you will be able to bring about justice in the community in a better way. You would hear more reports coming from the people about domestic abuse, gang violence, and so on and so forth. And I said, your approach that you have taken on is pushing people further away from the police force, and that is not what we are accustomed to. We are building a relationship with the police. And during that time, we had, one of the lowest crime rates, like a murder a year.
Down in a Central Kingston?
Yeah, it was a lot during that period, especially in the Almontown community. So he sort of strained the relationship with the people and the police. I remember the night of the incident, a large crowd of people converged, and they had to send for Central to provide some backup. When the matter was first mentioned, I retained my lawyer, John Clark. The matter didn't even went to trial.
When did it become a civil case? What year did it become a civil case initially?
2014, 2015, thereabout.
Oh my god!
Because I had to first defend myself at the court. There was a no case submission by my lawyer, and the justices decided to upheld the no case submission, so the matter was thrown out before it went to trial.
There are so much things you wanna go through before it come to that stage, yeah?
Yeah, and then, the following year we filed a claim in the Supreme Court for damages.
How much you ban?
The 13th of July.
Jesus, you're persistent. Me don't know if me give credit to you or the lawyer, the two of you, but hey, me say persistent, and this is a good trait to have, but most people would have been frustrated long time and not bother with it.
Yeah, that is very true, and I mean we need to improve the justice system so that justice can be served in a quicker time. I can recall in February or March when I was in the witness box, to recant happenings from more than 10 years ago. So that's a lot of people would not have, such a long memory to record all those happenings, and even people are giving testimony against others then, 10 years is a long time. They may not remember the material specifics in the case, and they may get flustered and decide, boy, I'm going to go ahead with this.
Jesus.
But I stayed the course primarily because of how I have seen unprofessional police carry out their duties. And I believe, that the best place to resolve these matters is through the courts. And following which, the Commissioner of Police and the Minister of National Security, they must begin to take actions against these policemen and women who run afoul of the law themselves.
So what is your view of the JCF today, 10 years later?
I still believe that the majority of the men and women who make up the Jamaica Constabulary Force are professionals. There are just a few who run rogue, and there are too many civilians who, for whatever reason, decide about them not to pursue matters through the courts.
Maybe they don't have the resources to do it.
Yeah, but there is for justice and other places where,
they can get representation.
Yeah, and there are attorneys at law who will take your case pro bono until completion. Okay. Because when they would look at, the material facts, they would say, boy, this case is over, but it's winnable.
So you think it's a no submission that took place in the beginning that caused such a long delay, or is it more than that?
No, because the initial stage, when I had to defend myself, it never lasted more than 6 months. The incident occurred in April, and then May, June, July, August, September, 5 months later, there was a no case submission that was upheld by the court. The civil proceeding is what delayed the process, and the constable's reluctance in providing a statement. Sometime after the incident, about 3-4 years following the incident, he migrated. He left the force. They were unable to get through to him. So there were a lot of delays and putting off of the case and all sort of things.
So was there ever any disciplinary action against him?
Well, he left the force before the matter was determined, and it is my understanding that there are disciplinary actions that the JCF would have taken against officers of this nature.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you would agree with this, but to me, I consider this to be a landmark case because I don't recall a case ever where a member of a community such as the one where you were brought a case against a member of the force and had this outcome. Or I don't think they were even challenged. Do you know of any?
Well, I don't know of any specific case. I don't know where the demography of the people, but there were other cases that were determined that the judge looked at, in determining how costs should be awarded. I would have to look at, the specifics in those cases. But they are rarely, it is very rare that you will find a person in an inner city community who would have been assaulted or wrongfully, or maliciously prosecuted, decided that, boy, mega fight the system and, seek redress. Hardly.
So you were actually prosecuted, or they attempted to prosecute you?
They conduct themselves whilst they are in communities like this with, just arbitrarily running people off the road and talking to you in any manner. There are instances where them just pop up by your yard, kick off a door.
Without search warrant and so. So I think the phone blacked out just now when I asked you this. Did they actually prosecute you?
And, I search a place.
Okay. I think your phone, something with the connection. Now it's on hold. I don't know what that's about. Why? What a case? Yeah, Lawrence, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remember that I was arrested and charged, so there was a prosecution. Yes,
Pending.
No, man, the matter was determined by the Hartford court.
Oh, so you were actually prosecuted then?
Yes.
Oh.
There was a no case submission that was upheld after, the judges heard the statement and, cross-examination of the constable. They did not find any material reason why I was arrested to begin with. Yeah.
But this a case of the way how the justice system, boy, I never want to make that comparison there, but you not only challenge the police, the arresting officer, but it was also a challenge to the justice system, which you won. What a something.
And then I was asked to get back.
Phone is reconnecting. People sue the police regular. Well, we don't really hear about it. I don't know if I true.
There is another matter that I may seek redress through the courts. The road that I live on, Stephen Street, is a one-way going towards National Hero Circle. There was a situation where a private motor vehicle broke the one-way, and the vehicle malfunctioned, so it couldn't move. Thereafter, a police service vehicle broke the one-way. Signal to them that the person is in distress, and the car shut down, the rain was falling, and they reversed and went about their merry way. And then another constable came in a private motor vehicle and were signaling the same thing. And then he called the Almontown police station to issue me with a ticket that I was they said I was obstructing the flow of traffic. My vehicle is going the correct way. a vehicle broke down in front of me that broke the one way. The driver did not receive any ticket. He himself had no right to break the one way. And I was the one issued with a ticket. And, I never paid that ticket, but, my driver's license expires come my birthday.
Oh,
And, you have to settle all outstanding tickets before you can be reissued a new license. So, interesting times are ahead because I am certainly not paying for any ticket that, I did not create any offense.
well, you don't have a choice but to challenge that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, congratulations, and I hope the police, the heads of police, and everybody see this so that them can just reassure the public that the force 10 years later is more mindful of these situations, and that whatever new training they've provided to the force, it is also in keeping with proper policing and interaction with the public, no matter where citizens reside.
That is so.
Yeah.
And then I must bring you back to where, I had the meeting with Mark Golin, Dayton Campbell, and Angela Bromberg, that initial meeting when I was told that, I failed the Integrity Committee session.
Oh.
And they put forward 3 reasons. One, about some Lime CUG contract. 2, that I have a pending court matter, to suggest that it was the state who brought a case against me, which was the reverse.
So this is the case that they were referring to?
Yes, the very same case.
My God, then they're not shame, Okay.
Yeah. Well, we serve a true and living God, So, we not serve the devil and Satan. So, our God always shows up at the right time.
Yes, indeed. So, Lawrence, make we talk a local politics.
Mm-hmm.
So you're supposed to feel good about the look a piece of money, but talk about that one at that time.
I'm not sure when that money will be paid over.
No, man, them have to pay you, man. For your company JPU, you have to get paid quick and fast.
My.
Yeah, so about the politics now. Last time I see you, you were in Central Kingston at a JLP meeting, and you were there with your green. I want to ask you, where you get that green and black shirt so fast? But you caused a eruption, and I mean, it was nice. You interacted with the people, and we heard parts of the constructive dialogue being had at that meeting. But I want to talk to you right now about the statement that Mark Golin made today, in light of more and more people leaving the PNP. I'm sure you heard about Christopher French. And you hear say JPU right now, I say we are choose Jamaica. So Mark Golin now come out and say the party is better without the switchers. And I don't know.
I think he should be concerned with the hypocrites who are around him, who are not fighting for him to become prime minister, and they are very close to him. I think he should be appreciative of those who tell him plain and straight and upfront that, the team time now come at all. And again, those sentiments by him does not apply to Lawrence Rowe. Remember, the only one that he removed, that he, wrote to formally and said, stay with the PNP.
In other words, they never run you?
Never.
Okay.
Yes. So, whomever that applies to, they should provide a response. And it is untrue that, he's at a better place because it is politics and numbers. It is a numbers game, and when you lose people, especially those who have expressed interest in running as candidates, or those who have vied as candidates, or those who have served as elected representative, when you lose out on those individuals, the whole party loses. And it is not only them you lose. At times you will lose elements of their family who may traditionally support your party. They have a network, they have friends out there, they have supporters out there. So, and with the PNP at 14 seats, you know, he should be, you know, more conciliatory and say to people that, boy, let us resolve some of the disputes. Especially given the fact that his poll numbers are trending downwards.
Yeah, I
So
was just
there is
gonna
no
ask you about that.
benefit. Yeah, there is no net gain for him where that is concerned. And the more the Prime Minister is out there, you know, opening his arms, welcoming people to the Big Ten movement, which is, you know, the JLP, right? And, you know, people are finding, you know, more love, more energy, and they have no sense of belonging and purpose. They are going out there to work to ensure that his third term is secured.
So, I don't know if you have any numbers could I share with us still, but now like how we have a couple of months to the election, how do you see the political landscape right now for the government and of course for the opposition?
Well, in terms of the polls, you know, I have to do a deeper analysis. I hope Don Anderson make the numbers available to John public so that we can do our own analysis. What I can tell you is that, you know, the PMP is out there campaigning from 2020, while the JLP is just ramping up their campaign. And notwithstanding that the PMP spent 4 years campaigning leading up to 2024 local government elections, had it been a general election, the outcome would have been 32-31 in favor of the JLP. So it is a 2016 repeat. The JLP would be in government by 1 seat, as at 2024. And that was a spectacular performance by the PNP, which did not land them into government. And they were the only ones who were literally out there campaigning. Now, the JLP and its leader is ramping up their campaign. They are more aggressive in the field. I am yet to be convinced that the PNP will win the next election.
Okay, so but you're anticipating a few more seats to the 14, right? At least.
Well, naturally, I expect some seats to be returned to the columns of the PNP. Not by virtue of only their candidates performing, but, you know, incumbency is really taking a toll on the JLP just the same. You get me?
Yeah.
There are individuals who won some seats that were traditionally PNP seats. You know, the laborites in those seats are, you know, overly excited and their expectations are very high. And with those MPs serving for a term currently, you know, there is the belief that those JLP candidates, those JLP MPs are the Messiah. So there is this big expectation. So there has to be that conversation with those candidates. And first, their party workers to say, boy, you know, we really work hard to win this. Now we have to keep it. But however, we have to temper our expectations.
Okay. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. Why? So is Central Kingston ready? 'Cause we don't know what go on. We don't know what go on.
I mean, with the multiple candidates that will be vying in this seat,
UIC down there, PNP down there, JLP
JLP
down there,
down here,
Lawrence
I,
Rowe down
I,
there.
independent candidates, plural, another down here.
Eh?
So,
No, sir, down there are festive.
very festive. But
Jeez.
yeah, people do feel insulted by this whole chicken back idea.
Mm.
For the PMP's candidate to say, boy, we go up on some corners, play some dominoes, and eat some poor people food, and then you describe what that poor people food is chicken back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you don't live among us, right? You live uptown where the Golden Triangle is, and you buy chicken back for your dog. I don't want my representatives to view me as an animal, like to give me animal food to eat, right? So, they are concerned. People are talking about it. The candidates for the PNP needs to be more careful with his public utterances because he's offending, especially his traditional supporters.
Okay. So
yeah, man, each Friday people talk about it, man.
Jeez, boy, I the worst thing me ever the worst thing me ever seen in a recent time, yeah. But we look out for everything. Certainly we see the government dealing with some housing situation down there. I saw where the people who were victims of arson, must say 13 family of people, then get back house, and that kind of thing. So it's more peaceful than it used to be, that's for certain. You remember a couple of years ago, the bloodletting in Central Kingston. My gosh.
So
is there still a Zozo?
Violence is on the low. Yes, down in Tel Aviv, I know there is still that operation down there.
Oh, and you think that's worked effectively?
But well, the peace is being maintained down there, so yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So Lawrence, may I have to tell you this because I've heard a few people said when it comes on to you being the MP candidate in Central Kingston, I don't know if it's true you come from Central Kingston, you come from the bowel of what we call the garrison, right? And that's fine. But we hear and a PNP people let me hear talk this too, especially those who are members of Golden Campus. So them attack like say, boy, you never did fit anyway. In my opinion, I'm always gonna go with the person who the people am go with, and also the person who come from the constituency, or at least are familiar with the constituency and the people. I think those people would better serve the people. But what says you to those who are of that view?
Let me see. How do I really respond to them now? So when Norman Manley launched the People's National Party, he said even the barefoot boy should feel welcome in the movement. And he said we're a national movement because our classes, are bound up in the movement, and that the interests of the masses and their security must predominate. I am from the masses, right? I represent that core group. And, having lived here and experienced the same challenges of the people, right? And I've also demonstrated through educational attainment that I have the capacity to represent the people. I received the Prime Minister's Youth Award for Excellence in 2017 in the era of community volunteerism. I've served the constituency politically as a group chairman, group vice chairman, PD worker, executive member, constituency secretary, constituency chairman. On a non-political basis, I've been secretary of the combined districts of Kingston 4, secretary of the Greater Allman Town CDC, secretary for the Police Citizens Action Group. So, I've been a philanthropist. I opened my home as an internet cafe, giving access to people to compute and the internet. Many people would either print free or at a reduced cost. I've assisted many, preparing for their CXCs, putting together their school-based assessments with my network with the Ministry of Youth and Education. I've assisted many to get grants and scholarships and employment opportunities. I have sought for many, assisted many writing their resumes and stuff. I have been a social worker across this constituency, and I have more track record than the member of parliament who was here for over 20 years. So I believe it is classes and worse it is coming from the PMPs. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a party for the masses and you believe in empowering people, then you should not be looking down at people, as Portia said her mother told her, never you dare look down on someone unless you're trying to raise them up.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did not fit into the profile of, serving Central Kingston as a member of parliament, where elected representatives sit, then how come the president of the PNP and the general secretary would offer me a Senate seat to sit in a review chamber where we look at laws passed by those elected representatives? It's hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I received a message from Peter Bunting one day to report to Rerum Trading Limited as Chief Financial Officer.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody cannot question my capacity to serve this constituency.
Okay.
They won't be successful at it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they will hear your response. I meant to ask you this.
And I can go further. I want to know what are the qualifications of Nikhil Phillips, Richard Azan, Norman Scott, and so many others in the PNP who don't even have a CXC.
I lie. What CXC you have?
And I want to tell them that there are many releases that's out there under the cover of the General Secretary and other candidates that I personally wrote. So whether it is arithmetic is me, whether it is letters to the editor is me. So I have proven, and organizationally I have demonstrated that I have the capacity to deliver, and I have always delivered. The General Secretary said on the Emily Shields program that I have considerable talent. I want to hear him speak to the other candidates now who, for example, those in Hanover who are saying that they put the politics over the country, the politics over the people.
Stop right there. Stop right there. All right, Lawrence, you have to go tell the people them what was your contribution now recently? What we saw you at the JP meeting. What were they discussing and what was your contribution at the meeting?
I don't think I'm at liberty to discuss to divulge what they were discussing.
Okay.
I was invited to the award ceremony by the member of parliament, and I decided that I'm going to show up. To his surprise, I showed up. When he sent the invitation, I guess he was saying, "Boy, Lawrence now come." But I just sent him just for sending him sake, I guess. But the reception was good. And it has always been like that. When I was the PNP's candidate and when I touched the road, he was very fearful because there were JLP workers who expressed to him that, a we grow Lawrence, so you know what that means, so, and I knew that he was changing out some of his workers while I serve as the party's candidate. And in all the pollings showed that I would have defeated him.
Okay.
And so I know he would appreciate, those organizational skills if I would lend him some of those organizational skills to augment what he currently have.
So you want him always have a courteous relationship though, right?
Always.
Okay.
From inception, from the first day he came to this constituency, we have maintained a cordial relationship and general respect for each other.
That's good. All right.
And that has always been my politics with the representatives that come here from whichever side.
Okay, that's good. All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Lawrence. And again, congratulations on your victory and your award and everything. We look forward to, whatever you say you're going to challenge where the judgment is concerned, because you say you're not happy with aspects of, what the final say was in the case. So we'll be looking forward to that.
Thank you very much. And we will also be discussing the seat counts
Yes.
for the general elections to come.
So you'll come back with numbers?
Most definitely.
Okay. Let me say you are the numbers, man. So we wait for your comeback then.
Cool, no problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Blessings to your viewers and listeners.
Yeah. Yes, guys, always a pleasure to talk to Lawrence Rowe. Moderator, I think you need to take Maureen from out of the chat. I was reading the comments as well. But what an interesting thing. That case, guys. 10 years later. And this case, like Lawrence said, was used by the PNP, saying that he had a case pending. Dayton Campbell was still the General Secretary of the PNP for years when he was accused by Karen of being a pedophile, and nobody moved him or said anything. So certainly you can see there's some kind of injustice where that is concerned. But Lawrence had his day. Justice. I'm going to take 2 calls. This is the WhatsApp number, guys. If you're listening to Jamaica Politics Uncovered and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Yeah, I always like listening to Lawrence. He expresses himself very well and, patient with the conversation. The phone line is open for about 15 minutes, I guess. It's Monday night. The program is not on tomorrow. You won't hear the program until Wednesday again. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Natalie.
Yes.
Ready to beat the road down,
Hey, what you say?
You see how we are stay from where the little meeting them we are keep.
Holy for meeting yesterday.
Holy, because the Prime Minister had 2 sentence. And Crystal and in the man where they in a Lisa and a seat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me did a point thing that me did against Hilton. Officer me did you know.
Oh, Upper St. Andrew. So how is it in West Kingston now? When you're ready? Yes, when you're ready.
We ready long time, boy.
Okay. All right.
Long time ready. Just wait for the Prime Minister just name it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, man.
Big up West Kingston.
Every time, not time.
Yeah. Guys, oh, here's another one. Hello, good night. Good night, you're live. What on?
There, listen to good news, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I hear you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got to turn off the background. Mm-hmm. So where you want to say to people them, you know?
You know, not at least tell you the whole truth. Maybe I prefer hear what people have to say because I don't make up my mind and decide what me want to see, you know. Yes, but I prefer hear what them want to say. I may really doubt them and not really trust them still, but you know.
Okay.
Me tell you, say, you know, me tell you, I already said I don't trust Jamaican voters them still, you know, I don't know why, but.
Are you the call and say that one night?
Yeah, man, but you know, the two last elections, them give me some confidence. Jamaican people give me some confidence, and you know, it's sort of on edge, but only hope for them keep it up.
Okay. So yes, you're not trust the voters them. I don't really like hear that term there, you know.
You know, you see the record is that the two-term government thing, you know. That people normally never. Some people just push some negative things where, you know, it's like, all right, me go through it and Natalie. Let me show you something. Me do building work. Right? So me employ people when ready. You have a man may come around you. You give him some work. And it's when you pay him, it's like a you him broke all the way through, you know? But when him come at you for make him rich.
That's true. Me understand what you say. Lord of mercy.
Hold on a second. Yes, they man a phone talk to you, yeah? Yeah, man.
So, but I totally do. But the situation now with the politics, I don't think we have ever had. I don't think we've ever had a case where you have a government there performing fairly well, and then you have an opposition that's almost non-existent. So these are different times, I believe. And I mean, of course, it's yet to be seen. But with how the thing different you know, I know, yeah, man.
Yeah, you see, if it come back to you right at your doorstep right now, because as we say, you know, people have this word today, you know, it's happening in America. See there, so that's why I fear the thing in Jamaica here right now. So you know.
Yes.
As I say, we not lose. Me dip on the green side, and it done. I just say that.
All right. I could watch what one.
Me left the rest to other people.
Yes. All right, I could look for one. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Hello, good night. Yeah, man. You got to turn down the background, please. Good night.
Yeah, man, you know, me hear you say a thing more time, I'm kind of disagree with you. Let me explain. You say, the risers, well, Mark Bowling, they buy the PNP for 10 million. But what you think? If you go a corner shop as a girl that grew up a country some of the time, and you have the money and you go to the corner shop and you say to the shop owner, say, give me some goods. I trust it. So until you pay for it, you know, you still trust. So as for me, say I trust Smart Gold and trust the PNP because if him not pay the 10 million, him not pay a fee. I trust him, trust it.
Sir, where you come from?
I trust him, trust it, man. Country I come from, man. I trust the man, go trust the PNP. From the PNP, them and all them not pay a fee. If them not the 10 million for sure feet. Trust him, trust it.
Not even look on it that way there still, but I trust him, trust it for sure.
Yeah, man. But my respect for the program, I'm going to tell you, say, you think I go on wide and a whole heap of enlightenment. And you say, oh, you bring it simple and plain. And with people that probably don't. In other words, other people talk some things sometimes, probably go over the head. But oh, you will bring it. And the whole thing what I'm saying, if you start launch a radio station, big man thing, you have all of the attributes. You have the voice, you have the command, you have the attention. So I feel say if I go after it seriously. Beyond all of this we had right now.
Never look into it then.
And, yeah, man, definitely. But you know, sir, with the trusting, the first I'm trusting that. I remember say when them the go and take over Billy Craig financial organization, you know. Remember say them step to FinSoc and said to them, say, yo, we could do it together.
Yes, remember.
And then after the shares were transferred over to them, nothing that they documented for sure say them they go pay back what FinSoc they put, which was more than 50% at the time. So technically, I trust them. They trust all Billy Craig thing.
But them are people.
And then they use them thing. I get it.
Them are people who will call themselves business people and businessman. You know, me not refer to them as a business. I be a scamming and go on with it, you know. Everything when they mix up in a scamming and people lose, and you know, I really don't consider them to be business people. I don't. I think there's some unscrupulous opportunists, and that's about it. And that's the way they want to come into our government.
With them, no, you are cut, but another dangerous thing with them. Them use a strategy what Trump did use. Whereas the same thing what them guilty of, them accuse everybody else of it for deflect the attention off of them. But we have sense. We have sense. That's the reality. I'm sorry for the people them who still fall in line and they make them sell them.
Pussy in a bag.
Pussy in a bag. And basically still let them wait for them come settle up the trust bill. But if you don't have the money, or you have to settle up.
True.
Anyway, make somebody else talk. Manners and respect again, mama.
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling.
All right, cool.
Mark Golden, trust the PNP. Lord God. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hi, good night.
Hi.
Good night, Nance.
How are you?
What's so long this? Not too bad, girl. Not too bad. How are you listeners, them everybody? Good night, TV man here.
Yes, TV man, come in. What you say?
Yeah, man. No, it's me there. I listen to the program, you know, and I listen to Lawrence and I listen to what going on. And everything we are going from night to connect, you know. But I have no negative than me about the winning and that. I have no negative than me, you know.
You're confident.
No negative.
Confident.
No negative. Because let me tell you something, you know, that. You can only fool when you check Jamaica. We know me if I match up this very easily and quick. When I look on the level of Porsche campaign, when the man Andrew run, Andrew never do nothing much or have no popular like this sorts of word. And he still come out victorious. You see me as a deal? Now, going up against Mark Golden with the propaganda and lie, you will have a bag of people because Mark Golden propaganda business them is just that they run up and down trying to find some people which only call narrow mind. It's not that because two people go and discuss schooling points to them bright. Of course you can bright, but you're still fool to the man, we can't fool you. Right? And as for others, I say, them can have hook those people on in line and draw them with the back time up and down. And nobody don't question him. Nobody don't question him one day yet and ask him. Then tell me something now, bossy. Where we go from here? Because we try this with the IC. You know, look like it'll work. And we are trying this with the FI. You know, look like it'll work. And we are go on stage and everything then so we try to twist and spin and spin pan. You know, look like it'll work. So where we go from here now? You know, think at the time we put on the brake now and take a different road by say, I could go to the people and make distance, you know, and see if it can work. It's like they're not seeing them looking at that.
Where's them for try decency now? Lord Jesus.
Them not sit and them book to do these things and that. And these are what we are saying. When you try to put a country in this problem, you try to put some narrative and negative in people's mind. Tomorrow morning, if you forget power, within the first 6 months, you know, who you think you're going to be to the people?
True. So look at well, the Trump had everything wrong, you know. Nobody not with no war and no spending and no killing. But look at you think said the Prime Minister can hold a 7% lead until the election call? According to the poll. According to the poll.
Yes.
Where you say you think he can hold it?
He might hold it. Donald and it can be hold it more than that, but Donald's a man who treat number of them because if that man take no treat the PMP, him side to the PMP. And let me explain something to you. This poll where come out, I don't believe in poll. Of course I believe in poll.
You do?
I believe some statistics. I believe in some statistic business where you can listen to people's views and how them talk and so forth. And you can know, you know, have an idea. So a lot of people willing to go with that person there and go with that person there.
Or is it that you trust Donald is a poll when I'm a PMP commissioner?
No, Donald's a poll. Once he might do it. Once he might put pen to the book, to paper. One time I do put pen to paper. Some number will get jacked. In can even start to find I feel. If it's instead of 10 people, each one then get 15 people for 15 people. But when they come, you can't change the paper them to feel narrative to what you want. You don't see them paper there. And when you put on the public, when I publish in Iglina and when I publish, you don't go pay. Him now go say that, you know. You don't see the paper where the people them bring in off of the road and say, 3 people may have and they say good, and the one I say bad. He must say no, 2.5 say good, and 1.5 when I say bad, or 2 say good, and 1.5 say bad, and one and the 1.5 I say no, when I say it. You understand? So theme thing yet. No, when it comes on Donald, I've been listening to Donald from your boy I grew up with Paul. And when Donald used to do these things, because we never have the knowledge to know and write the knowledge to understand, then I have to know that we are sick. The knowledge of Donald's support. Remember Donald's go take that poll and say, remember PMP do it in a country do it, you know. All the people who do it in the party are people who they must know firsthand, see where they can hold on to. Because everybody is saying it. And if you go and you come back and said, well, Bunting did this and Phillips did that. And when they come out, Bunting have the money, Phillips now have it. Like, and when they come out, Bunting don't have a bottom, see you drop off a leather. So, hold that. Then go back again. I buy them by your Lisa at the time.
Lord Jesus.
Just trust the party of Lisa. You understand me? So these people been doing these things. I don't know them at it. Remember, see them say them do it for the party. Them say the man run them out of funeral business with his wife. When wife and dead. I don't know them do these polls. And I do these things. And I turn people life upside down and make people spend their money. And spend their money and I catch a little fool pushing further. And I know them kept doing these things. So right now, if you mind chart this poll, we're at 42 right now, 43, 30. You understand me, I say? But if you say no, something you don't want to look very bad, because you know, it all look too bad to obvious. It's going to really obvious for maybe people will start questioning him and dime door. If you notice, the government, they look on him over there. The government look on him over there in that.
So look here now. We get a look of breaking news since night. I say the government now I go give the workers them some raise.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Then
you have a set of people in the country. When there was a wage freeze in the country, them have to take a wage freeze and tie up and put on the bed and mattress and make sure say them preserve and know if live with whatever. And now every minute the people them come, I don't know if them see say true the government is responsible they're spending and then borrow and in a money problem.
Money. It is good.
Then things that the government in a wholly then things that the government have a whole heap of money put on their bed, you know. So every minute then come out and money. Well, them are gonna get raised now.
Especially JTA them. Especially JTA.
Them go and get their
JTA talking
raise.
about it on Confused Show this evening. These JTA are concrete. Long time with the PMP. Because the PMP draw these people on their wing and say, I have some people where have a couple people amongst them where have made nice with them and so forth. And you know what is hurt that? Is when the majority of the mass of the people look on the woman and tell the woman, say, go where the government are going, we satisfied with it. We no long eye. Go sign the paper for we. What do you think the woman do? Kia one of the next man with him and tell the man sign the paper and she stand aside and then chief can come quarrel and say, fit me then sign the paper. At the same time, you look like a stupid idiot because it's your job to sign the paper and your job to represent the teachers. And if the teacher said, sign it when we take it, don't tell the teacher that you know that we get more for them. And every day come up, every one of them, if you notice, when they campaign, when they say them are filed for the JPA sport. Everybody, when we win, we go get the teachers them better, and I'm asking them. Take not, me not put on the teachers them, you know. Teachers, me not put on the teachers and the public sector, you know. But the teachers them for members, you know, them will Jamaica, you know, and not them alone of Jamaica, you know. And not them alone to get paid, you know. And not them alone want to live, you know. And not them alone. These are some of the civic group where let a lot of people run left Jamaica and have a girlfriend go look work when they see country pop down. And not go people they want to go. You think a man they want to really go carry work and yard and go along the road to work. I want to go along the road to work, but in carry work and yard. And we pop down with country. Keep popping on the country, and every time that the PMP comes, remember, the PMP does not teach each other.
Oh, well, on this, sorry. Yeah, but well, them will get their raise now, so there's no more.
No quarry, no saying about tonight.
No.
No quarry, no supposed to tonight. Can them get their money? Which one time them go to Black Road, and them draw a car, and them draw black car, and them draw this, and them draw that like they want to demonstrate around the whole country. And I'm saying to the teachers, them, relax on yourself. If someone, a young teacher, didn't know where this is coming from, PMP never pay teachers and a PMP column teachers in all the while said them and them best friend. And PMP never pay teachers. Never. I remember when Bruce Collins said, well, a little bit, make me money, just a step with the IMF, you could get it. They forced Bruce Collins hand to forfeit the IMF test and still pay them. And when Porsche come in, Ellen Davis White just come over Porsche. 5 years we're free out of the head.
Well, the finance minister announced it this evening. Say there is salary increase coming for the public sector workers. I don't know how much percent.
They won't get 130, but how much billion they get? How much billion they get? 13 billion what there?
I must say so.
13 billion and they get for 3 years. No man, they won't get 114 billion this time. But I'm gonna relax on yourself and eat on the food man and pay on the car loan and drink. But some of my teachers them are so stupid on that. You get the chance to make some money now. You know what they're gonna do? Buy car. Car is no investment in that.
Depreciate as soon as you start driving.
Because if you go buy and rent you out and make extra money at one time.
Yes, so when me hear them complain about cause what them doing now, me hear them a say, oh, the parliamentarians them get raised. You know, so the parliamentarians them never get no raise for much year, no 17 years.
From 2001 or 2003.
17 all years.
20 odd years. About 30 parliamentarians they don't get the raise.
And in the meantime, they still been working, and as a matter of fact, since them get the raise, you see more pressure upon them now to perform. And there's a bill was passed recently, you know, where performance and job description is concerned. So me not understand them true no borrowing now go on, development go on, the parliamentarian them get them swear so the government have a amount of money, then say the government thief.
Look here. And I still can't pay them. So Angela thief money away, money line go then with their money. Because these people, you see, these are what the opposition do. Put a narrative in a sort of people mind and turn the people in an idiot. Because now, when you look into it, you know, and look on the teacher thing in this country, I know. Teacher come a long way than that. At 21 days, 23 days, I month teacher work at 21 or 23 days. 21 to 23 days teacher work what I want, you know. Teacher get 12 days to take it how they want it. Teacher can apply for their leave. if something go wrong, they can get a leave and get the thing right up properly and send in them thing. And then still get pay feet, you know. Sometimes based on how they right and think they will not get pay feet. But if them right stuff, then still get them there, then still get time off, then can call school and say to the supervisor and the principal or the vice principal or whoever is there for them. They look, me have a little errand to run. Wait, come here already sign book, inside the book already, you know. Inside in already, you know. And then get the time to go to him already, you know. Sometimes we're not just so hard, came to one country.
You know
we're
what?
not supposed to be so hard.
The same way like how the parliamentarians them know them have job description, them have to perform. I feel like say there should be some kind of new standard set for teachers, so those who are not performing and them not bringing no good result in a them classroom, them supposed to have to work a little harder.
You watch them teacher there. And you put them in a one bracket. Can you watch them? Come watch me now. When I look into it, I've been asking this question to all of my friends from the other day, saying to them, if the school that we go down there move, then say no. I said, if the school that run it go move, is the school that Chris use and anybody else go, you go not? Where people who have education and the bright people that we see around the country today that we should be proud of. And the people that all over the globe in the country that in Africa that living right and doing the right thing. Is it that class move? Is that school move? Education comes a far way. Some of these people want miles to go to school from Pigstone, no lunch money, go to school and get them education, and then I pick them bus, I pick them for them gate. Here they go to school. Pick them high from contact in the high from bus in the one go to school, in the ready to go in and got the bus in the and then when me and Damien Crawford, we then lick up hypocrite self.
Lord
when
Jesus.
Him, come out with him brightness. He get a little thing in a maths. And him say, yeah, I'm good in a maths, I'm bright. And your school ain't got to. Never develop like now. The education level system never advanced like now. And you come out, then if a child want to learn that. If a child want to learn enough in a school for teach and if they go where they want to go. Enough, did they?
You know, so one time I got primary school, you see my principal at the time? My principal used to take 2 buses.
Yes.
And walk about 1/4 mile to reach at the school. Because you know how I know? He used to pass me out every morning.
Yes.
When he come off of the bus and Marcus Garvey Drive from over Portmore,
yes,
he walk from Marcus Garvey Drive, go up a school near Spanish Town Road. Nowadays, we are not in principal a walk, principal a take bus and so?
No, you have one principal where teacher Richmond Technical. The man driving good car come park in I town every morning out of I gate. And he pick them and try to put them on bus and taxi. And so them hide. Don't want to go to school. One time I hide the principal and I hide around the back of stall and I run around the market back and I hide. And I go out about there, then little smoking car where then go puff, then smoke and puff, then look here. Then I pick them one of the wicked set of picnic and then when they done them teacher look like a teacher problem. Me have some experience and wicked me not go say that. Me not go say you have 1 and 2 teachers, but you can't count them by your hand, you know. You can't count them by your hand. But you have some parents now, from them care some picnic at school but show down.
You know, business with them.
In the car one piece of all them got the junk yard, but show it down, tell the rotten dog, you know, want it again. You understand me? You don't read my feel what you picnic home. But picnic, if a teacher can get the picnic schoolwork and send him, like, go on home with a homework. Tomorrow man, you come and say, where your homework? I don't do it.
A TikTok, they want to go sit down and go on TikTok.
You understand me? The parents, that means no money time, no that yard. No money time. And then the JTA sit there. And when he's done, he might try to criticize the same government that PhD them. Can't get what our teachers pay. You try to criticize the same government. We have pimp out the teachers their money for foolishness. And I'm trying to raise up the teachers and pay to get them percentage or tight. And you, the JTA, now look point and say, you know what? Let me get a team officer. And send on the school them. Collaborate with the ministry, and several guys school and go find out what really take place in high school. If you have troubled child where we can deal with. If you have child we have this problem and find out, get a story upon the child them how then go to school. Go at the bus stop a morning time or and after school and watch how the people operate.
No man, them forget the police, them some local van. and make the police them drive round and pick up them backside and carry them to the station, make them parents come for them.
There was special school in Chad. You know what school that did it? For the time park, we have one school we have Chad. We have a center.
Yes.
When we pick you up, we have Chad. But after 9, you have to have a reason why you're out here after 9. Whether you're here for a reason, like you go to the doctor, or you have the project there, you got support, you go and the teacher know about it. Fine, you're good. But once I hide, you hide from the system. And I try to manipulate the system.
School.
We pick you up, we carry you to one center, one language, like we have on it's script there. We carry them go. Carry them to the center, go put them on for the day.
And so put police on it. Because they don't know manners, some of them.
Yeah, we have to teach them. Because they have no manners. And then this thing come out. Because in the name of vote and in the name of colors. You come out and make it look like, say, the government, you look how the man stupid. Just treat the man understand. That's them right. The same government.
Well, you know what?
Teachers.
I have something to say about this.
Is out of the teachers money JT I take from. I fat himself out there. Which the same man trying to look work to collect from the same government, and you are telling the same government people to them. How the teachers failing? How the government failing? How the government failing when the government said, look, take care of them in a school. We have to pay for take care of them in a school. And the children don't contact education. Who you feel blame? When they're going back to the people out the road and find them and carrying our phone center.
All right. Well, you know, let us see what will go on.
Them to them right, but they're educated fool. They give it to the monkey on the top.
All right.
Because you cannot become trying to tear down the same organization where you are trying to put yourself in.
Well, it's the principle of the PNP today is to tear down, mash it down and build it back up. But TV man, I thank mash down and then can't build back nothing. Thank you for calling tonight.
Yes, hello.
Big up St. Mary. Yeah, man. Guys, wanna come hear this? Damian Crawford, me see you do a thing a last couple of days ago. I mean, I for really and truly wonder to myself if I'm mad I get mad. The government of Jamaica said that they're going to pump $1 billion into the breakfast feeding program. Remember, we already have feeding program in our schools, you know. So it's not nothing new them are going to do. Them just pump more money in there, right? Damian Crawford come out as the opposition spokesperson on education. And he going to say, the government now put enough. $1 billion, you know. So they now put enough. And him say him do maths, and when him do maths, him say the $1 billion, if you divide it by how much in 1,000, it will mean say each student will get $67 a day. Now what the hell is that? Eh? We already have a feeding program. The government pumping $1 billion into the program. You don't know where the menu are going to look like each day. You don't know where it will cost for cook. So how you come up with calculation about, say, each student will get $67 a day? Eh? And also the $1 billion go allocate but one. And it not go allocate where one student I go get a certain amount of money every day. Where you come from with them style, man? Now, me see the PNP is proposing that they're going to give $1 billion to some transmission where they pan social media already monetized. And we're okay with that. But you're not going to look on the government and say $1 billion where they are putting at the feeding program to enhance it is not enough. What? Look here. Opposing something has to make sense. You don't just jump up when you hear somebody say something and say, oh, I oppose that. You put some thought into it. Look at things that you have said so you don't contradict yourself. And then you speak. At no point in time did the government tell you, say, they are going to allocate the money in a way that each student is going to get any amount. So you coming up with that now is nothing but a spirit of confusion. You just make yourself look dunce. This is crazy. Only need for stop. Call up on all Dr. Rose look like him and say, what a brother you the pan. You come out with cheese chicks in your hand and them something there. What I'm doing, man? $1 billion. Them are going to take up the transmission. And them now think to themselves, say, the people them who over there on TikTok and all about, they are monetized. Them content creators, they are monetized. So what are you going to give them $1 billion for? They don't need your money. Jamaica cannot afford to be taking up $1 billion to give to Rise United operatives, them who come out here, come tell BLI and defame people. No, they should not get Jamaica taxpayers' money. So you don't have no problem with that, the 1 billion. But you want to come and talk to the government about the billion they are going to put into the school feeding program, saying that it is not enough. What is that? Boy, me say me done. Me done. Me feel like say them people here, you know, it's like a disease that is spreading among the PNP people them, right? Bunting come with a disease and let go on the PNP. And it's like the whole of them catch it. I run, people have to run for their life if you don't get sick. It look like Damien are the latest person to catch the disease that I work with. This doesn't make sense. I say put the $1 billion into the feeding program. I know the whole of Jamaica pitting them hungry. You have responsible parents in Jamaica who plan out them pregnancy and plan out how them look after them picnic, and then make sure that them picnic get fed and then can afford to feed them throughout the school day. So I know every single picnic in Jamaica need assistance after the government. Look at $1 billion whole heap of money they put in a school feeding program. And you can come say it's not enough. How much you want the government to put in there now? Eh? Make it make sense. We have security, we have fair fund. See them come now, so them want raise. We want to take this thing for. Awesome. Anyway, guys, we're choosing Jamaica over here. I will vex. 2025. I choose Jamaica. Me, I choose Jamaica. Mr. Vegas, I choose Jamaica. Karen Cross, I choose staunch PNP Karen Cross. She's not switching to the Jamaica Labour Party, but she's choosing Jamaica with our member of parliament, Dr. Andrew Holness. Everybody I choose Jamaica. Diaspora choose Jamaica. The richest woman in America from Jamaica. She choose Jamaica. There's no other way. Not right now. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for stopping by. Have yourselves a good night. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share the content. And we'll talk again on Wednesday, unless something very urgent comes up. Thanks to Lawrence Rowe for stopping by and talking with us about his case and stuff like that. And again, Peter Bunting, leave the security ministry alone. This is a big man's job. You didn't step up to the task when you had the chance. Leave it alone. It'll work good, you know. And then say what's not broken, don't fix it. Leave Dr. Chang make him retire there. We don't need you, man. Go on. Good night, guys.
2020, people thought I was committing political suicide. They thought I couldn't defeat Peter Bunting. But the people in Manchester Central believed with me. They believed in me. And we defeated Peter Bunting by more than 1,000 votes. And
to the political leaders here tonight, you're backing a winning horse. Now don't ease up on the feed. You've invested in excellence. Keep investing. The JCF needs your financial support, and just as important, they need your very public backing. When our leaders back the police, the public back the police. And the
PNP are out there trying to say it's time to change. Now, I want you to listen carefully to this, They can't stand up and say they can do better. They can't do that. They can't stand up and say we have done better. They can't say that. All they are saying is, why them dead long? Give me a chance now. Not
Another month, another ribbon cutting ceremony. As I'm uttering those words, Most Honorable Prime Minister, I think of this poem. The heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward throughout the night. Mr. Prime Minister, we have been putting in the work, and now we are reaping the rewards. Sure that this campus was developed to optimize our greenfield space and be redeveloped as a modern campus for businesses to grow.
employing at its peak over 12,000 Jamaicans. Many families in and around the corporate area can trace their household stability and upward mobility to the opportunities made available right here. Over the years, this complex has evolved to serve as a hub for manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, and even education and healthcare. Today, it is the most diverse free zone in Jamaica and the largest commercial industrial complex on the island. We are gathered here today to officially open phase 1 of the Garmex redevelopment and expansion project. Phase 1 alone has delivered 126,000 square feet of new industrial space across 17 enterprises in multiple sectors. It includes newly built mini warehouses for small and micro businesses constructed at a cost of $1.1 billion. And while that figure sounds large, the real achievement is that this was fully funded from the resources of the FCJ. There was no borrowing to do this.
Mr. Andrew Holness, Mr. Andrew Holness, conquer Jesus. They can't tap you. Nobody can tap you. What God bless. God.
Jamaica politics and cover. Pick up yourself because you don't know you will discover. Lord of mercy. Hey. Some say that them a dieted. And them a suffer to hell no rotted. Them a say that them a dieted. And them a suffer to hell no rotted.